Hello and welcome to the BMC Quick Course series on NGT. My name is Doug Wilson and I'm a software consultant at BMC. In this session, we'll discuss tuning NGT Reorg for performance. This quick course will cover memory and server usage. For further assistance with your NGT configuration, please contact your BMC software representative. In this brief course, we'll discuss memory usage and how it's controlled, and server usage, which affects throughput and memory usage. Memory cost on modern mainframes cost a small fraction of what it did 10 years ago. DB2 and all products are taking advantage of this for performance. NGT is no exception. And finally, we'll talk briefly about recommendations for rolling out a reorg strategy, although that's a tough one because it varies from shop to shop. We'll start now with a review of NGT terminology that this quick course will use. NGT stands for Next Generation Technology. The primary reason for its name is its master server technology. The utility job you submit is called the master job. If needed, it can submit server jobs, which would be known as external servers. The master job can also have an internal server to do reorg work. Each server will multitask and have up to 15 tasks active at a time. There are also tape servers, but they're not relevant to this quick course. Here we show the primary memory and server parameters as shipped with the product. Max memory is the memory limit for each server. Init window is the memory limit per task within that server. The master job queues up work, and the servers, whether internal to the master job or a separate job, process that work from the queue. This work can be reading or writing a partition of an index or a table space, or reading or writing an NPI, or writing the copy. With the parameters shown, each server can use a maximum of 5 gigabytes of memory, and each task a maximum of 3 gigabytes of memory. The amount of memory needed is often only 100K, and many tasks can process at once, and no limit is reached. If a task needs a lot of memory, it could prevent other tasks from starting. Each time a task is going to start, if there is not sufficient memory remaining within the max memory limit, it will not start. NGT will issue a waiting for memory message to the journal. Then, as tasks complete, others can start. So the server's subtasks are self-limiting. Now, with this better understanding of memory use by server and task, let's have a look at controlling servers. On the left, the job specifies server mode internal. With this, all of the work is done in the master job. This negates next generation technology and inhibits throughput. On the right, this job specified server mode external. With this, all of the reorg work is done in the server jobs. Since it also specified server disk 2, we will get a maximum of 2 disk server jobs. In this case, the master job will only manage the work queue and do after reorg processing, such as change apply and fast switch rename. Since all the heavy lifting for reorg is done in the servers, this master job CPU and memory usage will be minimal. The third option for server mode, besides internal and external, is mixed. This is a generally recommended option and the shipped value. Here the job specified the more typical server mode mixed, where the utility starts out processing in the master's internal server, then if needed, an external disk server job is submitted. That internal server is still a disk server, so now with server disk 2, we are only allowed 1 external disk server job, for a total of 2 disk servers. Another added restriction with mixed mode is the master's internal server has a self-imposed memory limit which is less than max memory. These values are a good starting point. Whether you change them depends on the mix of concurrent jobs you have and how much work each job might be doing. NGT always starts by queuing up work and using one server. After a minute, if the work on the queue justifies another server, one is submitted. This repeats up to the maximum set by server disk. Creating a reorg strategy is a big subject, really too much for this quick course. NGT is architected to process large partitioned objects or many objects at once. The recommendation is fewer NGT reorg jobs running concurrently, where each is less constrained. Use Utility Manager to only process disorganized objects and submit reorg as often as possible. It is not necessary, but it is common, to separate the largest tables to their own reorg job. It is also common to increase the memory limits in the jobs processing the largest or most objects. If you run the big scary objects on Sunday morning, run everything else during the week. For further assistance with optimizing NGT jobs, please contact your BMC software representative. If servers are good, are having more or better? There is a point of no return for the number of servers. Currently, it is at 3 external servers. So the maximum for server disk would be 4 if running server mode mixed, where one of the servers is internal. This maximum would only be recommended for the largest workloads. The parm shipped is half of this, and that's a good starting point. Again, allow BMC to assist if you have such a workload. It is better to use all tasks of fewer jobs rather than less tasks of more servers. So increasing memory limits may be better than increasing servers. Thank you, and happy reorganizing.